Michigan State was on the ropes, losers of 2 straight, staring down number 5, Illinois, the team riding a scorching 12-game winning streak. But it's the Breslin Center. It's Tom Izzo. It's Michigan State, a team that you can never count out. In this barn burner, the Spartans rose up, grinding out an 85-82 overtime stunner that reignited their Big Ten title dreams. Jeremy Fears Jr. orchestrated with magic, 26 points, 15 assists, dominating overtime like a veteran conductor, proving his team has got championship grit hiding in the shadows. Everybody counted him out after that Minnesota game. They said, this team's not winning it all in the Big Ten. They can't get it done. They lost that Minnesota game. Well, guess what? They come back and they beat this number 5 Illinois team. If you're with me that Michigan State brought back hope to East Lansing, to the Breslin Center, to the fans out there, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know down in the comments what who was your player of the game outside of Jeremy Fears Jr. It was a phenomenal game for Michigan State because just days ago, Michigan State, they looked lost. Like I said, they lose to Michigan, they lose to Minnesota, a frustrating skid that had fans whispering doubts of this team. Are they really a championship contender? Are they really a Final Four contender type of team? Coach Tom Izzo preaching patience amid the storm of what's going on. The Spartans had dropped games that they should have won. Their offense sputtering, defense was getting a little leaky. Enter Illinois. Like I said, the hottest team in the conference, 12 straight, number 1 in offensive efficiency per KenPom. Bullying the boards with Big Ten's top rebounding margin. They're not the flashiest shooting team, but they keep possessions alive and are able to score on them. They hadn't lost since mid-December, steamrolling opponents with freshman phenom Keaton Wagler, hardly even recruited out of high school. He was dropping bombs, 46 points on the head of Braden Smith and Purdue. Where was Michigan State? They were limping. Analysts questioning what would they do without Divine Ugachukwu. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Divine Ugachukwu, I think is how you say it. But as Izzo said post-game, we needed to play like Michigan State. And boy, did they ever. From the tip, this felt different. Breslin pulsed with that old Spartan energy, the Izzo roaring as it was sensing a turnaround for this team, almost willing a turnaround for it to happen. MSU came out scraping, forcing Illinois into early discomfort, fouls right away for Illinois, what we'd not been accustomed to seeing from them. Sure, Illinois jumped to 12-8 lead behind threes from the Avishitz brothers of Tomislav and Zvonimir, and a block from Coen Carr's dunk attempt that sent him crashing to the floor. And when Carr was lying there, I couldn't help but think, oh no, not Carr, not with Divine already out for the year with the broken foot, another foot injury. We've seen foot injuries time and time again. Divine's absence, a 40% three-point shooter, an explosive driver left a void, forcing lineup tweaks, giving freshman guard Jordan Scott his second start. He stepped up huge, but more on him later on. The Spartans didn't fold. The answer with a 7-0 burst, ignited by Cam Ward's thunderous fast break dunk over the 7'2" Zvonimir Avicic. Ward pushing the ball coast to coast with a guard trapped in forward's body. That slam tied it 12-12, firing up the crowd and showcasing Michigan State's 22-0. That's right, 22-0 fast break edge that would define the night for them. Jackson Kohler battling cramps later, but unbreakable for this team. Added a 3 to push Michigan State ahead 15-12. The first half was a slugfest. Illinois threatening to pull away multiple times, up 6, 25-19 after a 7-0 run, and then 31-25 back-to-back Ben Hummerkaus threes. But Michigan State, they punched back every single time. They kept fighting. Trey Fort drained a transition 3 to cut it 31-28. Kohler tied it at 31 with another from deep. Even with bumps and bangs, Scott jogging to the locker room early with a gash right over his eye. Looked like the Band-Aid was almost like preventing him from seeing at one point. but he was like a warrior. The Spartans trailed just 39-35 at half. Halftime stats told the resilience tale. I mean, Michigan State limiting Wagler to 2 free throws, 0 of 5 shooting, out-rebounding Illinois despite their dominance, their length, their height, everything that they had over Michigan State, and they owned a 14-0 fast break lead. But Illinois, they weren't done. They exploded out of the break, a 5-0 spurt right away, pushing the lead 44-35. Their biggest bulge. And Izzo's crew, they could have crumbled at this point in time. They could have said, oh, this isn't for us. We're out of it. We're not going to get back into this like their recent losses. Instead, they unleashed 12-3 a run. Transition magic flowing all around. Tang with a catch and shoot 14-footer, starting it all. Dunks from Cooper and Carr off Fears dimes, where he had 15 in the game. Fears already racking up assists like candy. Ward's 2 free throws, despite his 45.9% season mark, tied it 47-47, and you could feel the energy of the Breslin Center erupting through the television screen. Izzo flashing a rare smile. This was the story that they needed. From skid to surge, the Spartans rediscovered their rebound and run soul. Illinois regained footing, a Tomislav Visic hook, Jake Davis 4-point play, but Michigan State, they stayed glued together. Scott's 3 tied at 56-56 with 9 minutes left. Andrej Stojakovic sparked the Illini with 3 layups, pushing them 65-61 late. Merkovich, Illinois' matchup nightmare at 6'9", flipped a go-ahead layup that looked huge for them, 69-68, with just 32 seconds left in regulation. The tension was peaking. Everybody was nervous, but Fears drove, got blocked, out of bounds. Tang missed a corner 3, but Kohler snagged the offensive board, one of his 16 rebounds he had in this game. Michigan State owning the glass, 48-38 overall. The kick out to Tang on the wing was a swish, 71-69. Spartans with 8 seconds left. It was a monster play, as Izzo called it. Tang, the sophomore guard, stepping into Divine's void, delivered his biggest shot yet. Growth on full display. But drama, it lingered. Wagler missed a 3. Davis got fouled on the putback. 2 free throws with 1 second left. Tie game. Cooper's buzzer beater fadeaway rimmed out, and we go to overtime. Here's where it really gets good, honestly, right? This is where it got the best for Michigan State. Fears, the embattled sophomore who'd faced scrutiny with tripping allegations, a kick not even Michigan State fans could defend and talk about in that Minnesota game. We knew it was a problem when Izzo voiced that he needed to, quote, grow up. Much to Izzo's pleasure, grow up he did, indeed. He scored 11 of Michigan State's 14 overtime points. Layup, free throws, 13 of 14, 12 of 13 total from the free throw line, drawing fouls with the stop-start dribble. The crowd chanted in MVP, most valuable player, as he iced shots at the end of the game. Ward's tip in off a Fears miss made it 81-76. Kohler, cramps and all, grabbed a huge board late. Illinois, they clawed. Wagler finally hitting a desperation heave to cut it to 85-82 with a second left. And then Carr's inbound, turnover, gave the ball to Wagler to pass the ball around, eventually get it to Zvonimir Visic to try and hit a game-tying 3, but he missed, and the Spartans survived. Defensively, this was a masterpiece of grit. Michigan State held Illinois, KenPom's top offense, to 36.6% shooting, 10 of 36 from 3. That's less than 28%. Wagler was humanized at 2 for 16 thanks to Scott's lockdown defense. Freshman on freshman, Scott hounding him all night long, forcing inefficiency despite Izzo lobbying for palming calls. Carson Cooper matched Merkovich's length, staying in front on drives most of the time. Michigan State also dominated the fast break. Like I said, 22-0 in that area as Izzo schemed it up. He said, defend, rebound, run them ragged. Offensively, wasn't pretty. 29.2% from 3, but balanced. Fears, 7 of 19 led, but Kohler, 3 of 8 from deep. Tang, 2 for 6. Scott, 3 for 6. They all chipped in. Ward's 18 quality minutes gave him 8 points and 7 boards. Post-scoring when briefly at the 3, Role adjustments shown for this team. Scott logging over 25 minutes of gameplay, Fort providing defensive sparks in a key three. What does it mean for the Big Ten? Well, Michigan State climbs to 20-4, 10-3 in the Big Ten, 2 games behind the leader, Michigan, who is at the top by themselves now with Illinois losing, but still alive. They are alive at this moment. Illinois drops to 20-4, 11-2 in the Big Ten. Their streak was snapped. Missing guard Kylan Boswell exposed against Fears ball screen mastery. As Izzo said, he said, quote, "That's a better team than we are right now, yet we played better," end quote. Like I said, it's Michigan State. It's February, right? If February brings more of this rebounding against the number 1 Big Ten rebounding team in Illinois, being able to outdo them by 10 boards, more of this defense and Fears poise, you can't count the Spartans out in any matchup out there. They went from doubt to defiance. 2 losses bred hunger for this team. This upset fed belief to the fan base. Fears, once questioned, is now an MVP-chanted hero. Tang's clutch 3, Ward's dunks, Kohler's boards, pieces clicking together. In a league of wars, as Izzo calls them, Michigan State just won a battle that could spark a run. Don't count them out.